Now I am going to show you how to prepare the profit and loss account. So you can continue on the same page. So you can see how I have drawn the line. In the worked out problem what I have sent you in the morning also, I have worked out on the same page. So profit and loss account of Mr. Abraham as on 31st December 1976. So this is the way you start this account. Then again you have to write dr dot is debit side and on the right side is cr dot, which is called as the credit side. Then you have to write two columns, particulars, amount, rupees, and on the credit side particulars, amount, rupees. So as soon as you start this account, the first entry will be always the gross profit has to be transferred from the trading account. So the gross profit whatever you got is 12,066. This you have to immediately transfer to the credit side of the profit and loss account. So by gross profit transferred from trading account is 12,066. And this account will always show a credit balance. That means income will be more than the expenditure or the expenses. So credit balance means it will be a net profit. If the debit side is more than the credit side, then it is a net loss. So normally you will not get problems like that. Very rarely you will get a problem. Okay. So we will enter all the indirect expenses which are incurred by Mr. Abraham during the year as on 31st December 1976. So rent, rates and taxes 388 rupees. You can check your textbook also side by side. If you keep it, you can check. Then two salaries 1612. Indirect expense. Salaries given to the admin staff. Then two lighting and heating 164 rupees which is used in the admin block. And to Del Credar commission, it's a commission given to the salesman. So about this you will learn it later in your higher classes. Then to insurance, it's a expense which is paid and it is indirectly paid, not related to production, 206 rupees. To advertising, 214 rupees, not related to production. Two bad debts written off 62 rupees. That means this Mr. Abraham has given some amount of money to others, loan to others, but 62 rupees he thinks that it will not come back to him. So they will write it off by writing it on the debit side of the profit and loss account. So two bad debts written off 62 rupees. Then to postage, telegram, etc. is also an indirect expense. So we write it on the debit side. So the incomes are written on the credit side and the expenses are written on the debit side. Now we have to balance. Balance means find here also in trading also we have to balance. That means finding the difference between the debit side and the credit side is called as balancing the account. So here also we have to find the difference between the debit side and the credit side. So add all these amounts on the debit side. Okay. Then you subtract that total from 12,066. From 12,066, you add up all these amounts and subtract. You will get 8,180. So that is called as the net profit. So you have to write it here as to net profit transferred to balance sheet. Okay. And you have to put two lines on top and on bottom. Here also I put two lines on top and bottom so that it will be easy for you to differentiate it. Okay. So this is how you prepare the profit and loss account. I have written it in red so that you will be able to follow. But while actually preparing the final accounts, you need not write it in red. If you want, you can write it now for the time being. Okay, till you get used to it. But in the exam and all, no need to write it in red pen. Okay. So this is how we prepare the trading account and the profit and loss account.